Alright, so this is my army of Space Wolves. So I've got my Wolf Priest, who's my Warlord, and he's got a jump pack. He's got Saga the Wolfkin, a Storm Shield, a Thunder Hammer. So he's not WYSIWYG, but you know, whatever. And then we've got Ragnar, obviously unpainted, because I'm scared to paint him. Got my Wolf Priest, who's got Canticle of Hate and Saga of Majesty. And then he also has the Tale of the Wolf King and the Lord of the Deeps from the Psychic Awakening bonus. And then my Rune Priest, who's got Tempest Wrath and Stormcaller. He's got a Jump Pack, Psychic Hood, Runic Axe, and the Armor of Rust. And then we've got 2 groups of 5 of just regular infiltrators. We've got the aggressors with the Boltstorm gauntlets, some suppressors, impulsors with the shield dome, and then we've got 3 groups of 5 of intercessors. They just have the regular bolt rifles and an auxiliary grenade launcher on each, and then the sergeants each have a power fist. And then back here we've just got our Wolfen with Thunderhammer Storm Shields, and then Frost Claws on the sergeants. So yeah.
All right, so here's my army for our game today. So first off, we have my Chapter Master. He has just a Relic Blade, as well as the Imperium Sword Warlord ability. He is the Warlord. And then after that, we have Iron Father Pharaohs, basically a staple in any Iron Hands detachment. And coming up after that, we have just 1 Devastator squad where we have 4 Last Cannon guys, and then the Stormbolter Sergeant. And then second in the heavy detachment, we have the Relic Leviathan Dreadnought with a Storm Cannon build. And then for the final thing in the heavy support detachment, we have Executioner Repulsor Tank. For the Blood Angels detachment, we have Cheap Librarian Mephiston. And he has the attacks of Quickening and Shield of Sanguinius. And then after him, we have Chaplain Lamartes of the Blood Angels. He has the Litany of Hate as well as the Exhortation of Rage. And then after that, we have Librarian Dreadnought, who has Unleash Rage and Wings of Sanguinius. And then for the rest of the attachment, we have just 2 Assault Intercessor squads and Intercessor squad. And then for elites, we have 2 squads of Death Company Intercessors, where each sergeant has a Thunder Hammer.
Good. Alright, so we have picked the secondary objectives for each army. The Space Wolves will be Assassinate, which will just be 3 victory points for each character, Line Breaker, get into the opponent's deployment zone, and then raise the banners high, get onto objectives, and do an action onto those objectives. Next we have Bring It Down, which is going to be focused on monsters or vehicles, Slay the Warlord, so hopefully the Space Wolves choppy Warlord's going to be up in their face and they hope to bring that guy down, and Attrition is just going to be kill more than you had killed that turn.
Alright, so at the end of the deployment phase, I had to spend 3 command points to use Cunning of the Wolf on 3 of my units. Deployment right here. So I got my suppressors on that objective, infiltrators over here. And we got looks like a big melee battle coming up right here. Alright, so at the end of my movement phase, kind of moved up the aggressors, and then my impulsors, which also had Ragnar and this guy right here, and then he got out, and they're ready to start shooting at those guys. Alright, so at the end of my psychic phase and my shooting phase, I didn't really do anything over there. The only thing that really happened was we deleted an assault intercessor squad here, and then killed another assault intercessor from that 5-man squad. And then that's about it, and then nothing happened for the charge phase. So we're going into Jacob's turn.
All right, so this is the end of my movement phase. Basically, this whole mass of infantry just kind of pushed up a little bit into his Space Wolves. The Devastators stayed where they were. These guys just moved up slightly altogether as a unit, and then the Intercessors just kind of got out of the line of sight of the aggressors.
All right, so at the end of Jacob's shooting phase, he entirely deleted my Intercessors over here. So we're looking in a bad way. Some infiltrators are dead there. And then one infiltrator died inside there from these Death Company. Okay, so at the end of Jacob's turn, at the beginning of my command phase, I've got 8 victory points, but only 1 command point. And then a lot happened here. Ragnar fought valiantly and took some wounds off the characters. He killed his character Lamartes and killed 4 assault intercessors. And then these Death Company took my infiltrators off the objective and killed them. So at the end of my movement phase, I moved up to this objective to secure my own, because you need to do that for this game mode. Everything's kind of just remains there. Moved up this guy to try and do some stupid stuff. Brought in my warlord and my wolf priest and my wolfen back there and back there. And then moved the aggressors up a bit. And see how this goes.
Really did something.
All right, so at the end of my turn, I'm now at 12 points, and Jacob is at 9 for the beginning of his turn. And the Wolfen did some damage to the Repulsor Executioner. I tied up his Leviathan and his home command point, and I also killed his Warlord with my Warlord. And these Wolfen didn't make the charge, so that was kind of sad. And then my Rune Priest here died to Mephiston.
All right, so this is the start of my movement phase. I moved my Librarian Dreadnought and Mephiston off of that objective over there, so they pulled over here to help with the Impulsor. None of this moved, it's all been tangled up, but these Intercessors did move from over here to over there, so not much progress there. And then for Psychic, Mephiston blood boiled the Impulsor over here. He also gave himself the quickening psychic power, and then the Librarian Dreadnought smited the Impulsor and gave Mephiston Unleash Rage.
Alright, so at the end of Jacob's second turn, he got 3 more points for bringing it down. He killed my Impulsor. My Warlord killed Pharos, and then the Repulsor and the Wolfen killed each other right there. And then these guys moved up here, and they're moving back right there. And then this guy is left on 8 wounds, or 2 wounds left, so he's holding out. Alright, so at the end of my movement phase and my shooting phase, kind of just moved up with the Wolfen mainly, and I kind of get to choose if I want to go into Mephiston and the Librarian Dreadnought or the Leviathan Dreadnought, which would be really tough to take down. And over here I killed 2 Intercessors. So at the end of my turn, I actually managed to kill the Leviathan Dreadnought with the Wolfen. I used a combination of Savage Fury and Gene Wrought Might to just bring down an insane amount of Thunderhammer hits on it. And even if he used Duty Eternal, it wouldn't have worked. And then I took these guys off this objective, and then my Impulsor over here got destroyed. So this is what we're looking at right now.
So at the end of my shooting phase, I killed 2 of the aggressors on that point over there. I finished off the Warlord with my Dreadnought, but it died, and then Mephiston killed one of the Wolfen, but then died from its death frenzy. And I only have that objective over there.
So for the 4th battle phase, I left my intercessors there. I actually moved off this point and hid in there so that my wolfman can't be shot. And then move these intercessors, or the infiltrators, back on this objective and put lone wolf on my aggressor. All right, so at the end of my charge phase, we decided to call it. Jacob thought that he wouldn't be able to come back because I still have 2 objectives here. So yeah, and then...
Yeah, essentially, Jacob could only score like another 5 points. He wouldn't be getting any of his secondaries, and Wyatt had already had enough of a lead that there was no way he could mathematically come back from that.
Yeah. All right, so please like and subscribe.